Cut to the chase. Got an announcement for us about Willie?
Willie, unfortunately, he's got a bit of a tight hamstring, and he won't be available for AFL or Waffle this week. So disappointing. He's put up a bit tight a couple of days ago, and unfortunately, we can't play him as much as we all would love to.
Could you believe it when you found that out?
No, well, it's sort of the way of our season a little bit on occasions when we're ready to bring people in. We either lose people or they don't get to the line. So, but, it's been a really good process for him and the club the last 8 weeks. Really proud of what he's done. He's got complete buy-in from our players and staff, and he's back. His suspension's over. He just won't be playing this week.
Is there a chance to play Waffle, though, in the weeks following?
We'll have to wait and see, on how... on the severity of the hamstring. But I don't think it's a massive one. I think it's just a bit tight. So still holding out hope for that, but he won't be available this week.
This was the risk, obviously, coming back from not being involved as a professional athlete for so long. He had the mini hammy a couple of weeks ago as well. Is it the same thing?
I'm not sure if it's the same thing, but it was come up pretty late yesterday. So unfortunately, we'll just work through it. You're right. It's hard to get up and ready to play AFL after 2 years off, and he's done everything he can. He just hasn't got to the line. So it was always going to be a bonus for us, and unfortunately we don't get that opportunity. But what we are proud of is he's got through this period, and now we can, if he doesn't play this year, he can hit pre-season as hard as anyone.
Might be a moot point now, Adam, but which way were you leaning? Were you going to bring him in for
I think we're going to play him, I think everyone we spoke to were pretty keen to get him in, so... disappointing, but not the end of the world.
How's he going with it? I mean, it must be a bit of a rollercoaster of emotion to go from, first game back and then all of a sudden a minor hamstring. Yeah,
like I said, it's been a big journey for him, and it's just disappointing. But it's not. He's dealt with more adversity than this, so we'll work through it, and we'll get on with playing Brisbane without him, and he can get on with prepping for the next time he can play.
How are the other guys tracking along? Josh Kennedy and Jerry McGovern?
They both won't play. So Josh is he's a bit banged up from the game. He actually came back on with a compound fracture in his finger, I think. So he finished the game off, and 2 6-day breaks with the travel. He can't play as much as he'd love to. And Gov's been carrying a hip for a long period of time, probably a couple of years, and it's just getting to the point where eventually he's going to need surgery. So he needs a week off, unfortunately.
Do you send him for that surgery straight away or wait until the weekend?
We might just wait till the weekend, see how he pulls up over having a week off, and then, but he'll need surgery.
Encrypts the space, teeth?
He's okay, yeah. He might have a black tooth in weeks and months to come, but he's okay.
That's
a bonus. Yeah, that's happy days. Yeah, the fear was he had mouth cut in. The fear was that the hit was so hard it could have broken his jaw. So he was pretty brave to come back on himself. So he's right to go.
Does this kind of sum up your season, Adam? You got to round 23 and it's still a revolving door of injuries.
Well, yeah, and we're not alone. A lot of clubs are going through the same thing. We haven't handled as well as we wanted to. There's been opportunities to win this year we haven't taken, and we haven't played our best footy for long enough, and now we find ourselves in a position where our destiny is not in our hands. So we accept that. We're not happy about it. We need to look at it end of the year about all the things we do well and how we can get better. But that's the reality.
What's this mean for someone like Oscar Allen? Where do you look to sort of play him?
He'll probably play forward. We swung him back last week early in the game, and he stayed there for most of the day. But if Josh is not playing, he'll play forward.
Feels like running out of defenders.
Good opportunity. Yeah, we've what we have got out of this year is we have got some opportunity for some of the younger players to come through. Luke Edwards, Luke Foley, Harry Edwards, these type of players, Connor West. So they've had a good sniff of AFL footy, and they'll get it again this week. So that is the bonus of missing a few players. You get to expose some of the younger ones.
How did those players that returned on the weekend pull up? Barris, Ryan, Shuey?
Good. Yeah, no, they all got through. 6-day break into a travel, so we haven't done a lot this week. But no, energy's good. Obviously technically the season's still alive, so we want to have a swing and play our best footy against a really good side in Brisbane. But the guys who we'll pick will be ready to go.
So when you had the injuries earlier in the year, and you had that really young team that you took to Sydney, the enthusiasm was obvious from them and what they brought. Do you hope that sort of enthusiasm again from them and the excitement of playing?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's different, isn't it? Our better games this year have been with a bit younger side, a bit of youth and a bit of spirit. So that's a challenge for us. The times we've had our best team available, we haven't fired on all cylinders, not for 4 quarters. So, yeah, we've got to play with spirit this week if there any chance, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
How many blokes are you going to take with you? Given you'll be staying if you win, won't you? What's the plan for post?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you could make finals, you've got to take a certain number of guys on the plane in case, don't you?
I think we're coming back no matter what. Yeah. So the quarantine part's the issue we've got to deal with when we come back, but we'll take a standard, 24 players. Have
you been able to pinpoint and potentially resolve the issues that caused such a slow start on the weekend? It's not for the first time. And I said it after the game, nothing's changed really. Our pressure around the ball and our tackle efficiency was well off, and we elevated that after quarter time, and we played a pretty solid brand for the next 3 quarters. But unfortunately, when you do that against anyone, you leave yourself vulnerable, and they kicked 8 goals in the first quarter, which you just can't give that type of lead to anyone, especially in a derby. So, focus for us is to do it for 4 quarters, obviously. Luke Shuey said it was a mindset thing, that first quarter. Is there anything you can do to fix that and get the players ready to go when they run out on the field? Something you can change?
Well, you'd like to think that, with our experienced players, that's not going to be an issue. So it'll be a focus of ours this week. And like I said, we'll need to dig a bit deeper into our season when the season finishes. But yeah, that's happened too often this year.
When you're planning for next year, Adam, have you got any confirmation as a footy club about the soft cap?
No, I haven't been living in that space at all at the moment. No, I'll let Craig and Trevor deal with that. But no, we haven't had anything for next year on pre-season or soft cap or anything like that.
Talking about Brisbane, what's the strength you need to take away from them to win?
Well, they hit their straps the last few weeks, and we had a good look at them last week against Fremantle when they were over here. Scoring from stoppages, they kicked 11 goals. Their contest work and pressure, and they play a pretty solid, consistent system as well. So, and they're tough. So that's the challenge for us.
You mentioned Connor West before. There's been a bit of talk in waffle circles about what will happen to him post-AFL season, whether he'd be able to go and play waffle finals for West Perth. Do you know what the scenario will be with him?
No, I don't know. We'll work through that the next few weeks. Obviously we've got a season to play out, so we'll see how we go. There's still 3 waffle games left, isn't there? So we'll work through that when the time's right, but at the moment I haven't had the conversation.
Is there something you'd be okay with if the league was okay with kind of going back to play for West Perth for the final? Would you?
Yeah, we need to work through it and where it all sits. So I'll leave that to the end of the season before we have that discussion.